Hello everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meeting. Every week at 7:30 a.m. we come together in here to talk about last week's accomplishments, this week's goals, and what our initiatives are for the week. That includes leasing, marketing, property management, all sitting together, getting on the same page. This week we're going to talk about the summary of 2020. 2020, wow, what a year. Lots of highs, lots of lows, both professional and personal. It's been a challenging year, but we all came together, leaned on each other, and we made it through.
One of the results of the COVID year 2020 is the increase in sublease space. We've seen the number go from 3 million square feet at the end of 2019 to 5.2 million square feet at 2020, which is about a 66% increase. All this space is, some of it's sublease, but there's a portion of it, about 2 million square feet, that we're calling if space.
So basically what we mean by the if space is that essentially what we've seen during the pandemic is a lot of these companies that have put their sublease space on the market is that they're trying to be opportunistic and basically saying, if somebody comes along during this period, sure, we'll sublease it to them. But if not, then we'll just reoccupy our space as planned whenever that might be when it's safe in 2021. So what will really be interesting to see, which we're watching, is how much of that space comes off the market and is reoccupied by the original tenant.
Let me give you a quick 2020 recap for our team. In December alone, we executed 7 deals, which brings the 2020 total to 57 transactions. With the volume of leases, there is a lot of files to update, and all of that has been completed. We have closed the books on 2020, and our team is in a great spot to kick off 2021.
The pandemic has created what we call opportunity, unfortunately. With a little more than 2 million square feet of sublease space on the market and approximately 31 million square feet of direct space available, Atlanta's vacancy rate is a little more than 18%.
And yeah, while that's certainly a pretty high vacancy number, we've actually seen quoted rental rates hold up their integrity relatively well throughout the course of 2020. Certainly there are nuance within certain submarkets, but overall we've been relatively pleased with the quoted rental rates.
We all know the importance marketing has played through this past year. It has been more important than ever that we keep our assets visible and allow prospects the tools to tour spaces from the comfort of their own homes. That is why I spent a large part of this year enhancing our in-house technology platform. Our marketing group continues to seek ways to be ahead of the curve, and I look forward to sharing these ideas with all of you. I've also been brainstorming some fun client events when everyone's ready to travel again.
Over the past year, concessions have increased, but rates have really been held. Each submarket is a little different, but the overwhelming sentiment is that if there is a prospect that likes the building, do the deal. TIs have gone beyond the $5 to $6 per square foot, and abatement has increased well beyond the 1 month per year.
Yes, TIs have really increased, but a lot of that is because of the condition of the existing space needed the added TIs to lease the space. Our occupancies had hit some pretty high levels, and so if you think about it, the remaining space was a little challenging. So all COVID did was escalate the need to spend the money to lease the space.
During 2021, I think we will see a slow but steady increase in occupancy throughout the city. We continue to hear more and more people say that they are ready to get back to an office environment. CEOs want to see increased productivity and increased revenue. However, to start the year, the average daily building occupancy is hovering right around 25%.
Let's brand our own Back to Work campaign. With all the concession talk, we could say, you'll get a perk if you get back to work. Our team is committed to getting people back to work. We did 198 tours from June of 2020 to year end, and we are already off to a busy start in 2021.
One thing our team has put a lot of emphasis on is keeping the pedal down on our production efforts throughout the pandemic. We have continued to remain disciplined in our production process, adapting strategic, COVID-sensitive approaches to engaging the brokerage, economic development, and end-user community. letting the market know that Trains Western is open for business.
Given all the stagnation that we saw in 2020, we're actually anticipating an accelerated recovery in the second half of 2021, especially with all the upcoming lease expirations that have been pushed and the upcoming rollover. Teams that are aggressive are going to be successful in this environment.
Yes, TIs have really increased, but a lot of that is because of the condition of the existing space needed the added TIs to lease the space. Our occupancies had hit some pretty high levels. And so if you think about it, the remaining space was a little challenging. So all COVID did was escalate the need to spend the money to lease the space. Thank you for joining us in our Monday morning meeting. We're optimistic about 2021. Stay tuned for our next meeting.